How did one of the most powerful empires in history completely erase a kingdom from the map? And what really happened when the Assyrian Empire invaded the northern kingdom of Israel? For centuries, this moment has been recorded in the Bible as a turning point in Israel's history. But archaeology reveals that the reality may have been even more devastating than many imagine. To understand the fall of Israel, we must step into a world of rising empires, brutal warfare, and political collapse. At its height, the Assyrian Empire was one of the most feared powers in the ancient world. Centered in the region of Mesopotamia, Assyria built a military machine unlike anything seen before. Its armies were highly organized, heavily armed, and known for their ruthless efficiency. Cities that resisted Assyrian rule were often destroyed. Survivors were deported, scattered across the empire, and replaced with people from other conquered lands. This strategy was not just about conquest. It was designed to break identity, culture, and resistance. At the same time, the northern kingdom of Israel was facing internal weakness. After the reign of powerful kings, the kingdom became unstable. Political corruption, shifting alliances, and spiritual decline weakened the nation from within. Instead of standing strong, Israel became vulnerable, and the Assyrian Empire was watching. As Assyria expanded westward, smaller kingdoms were forced into a difficult choice: submit and pay tribute, or resist and face destruction. For a time, Israel chose submission, but eventually, rebellion followed. That decision would change everything. The Assyrian king Tiglath-Pileser III began the campaign by invading parts of Israel and taking control of key territories. Cities fell, people were captured. The kingdom began to shrink, but the final blow came years later under another powerful ruler, Shalmaneser V. He laid siege to Israel's capital, Samaria. For 3 years, the city held out. Cut off from supplies, surrounded by enemy forces, the people inside faced starvation, fear, and uncertainty. Then the city fell. When Samaria was finally captured, the consequences were devastating. According to both biblical records and Assyrian inscriptions, large portions of the population were taken into exile. They were deported to distant regions of the Assyrian Empire. In their place, new populations were brought in. This moment led to one of the greatest mysteries in biblical history, the disappearance of the so-called lost tribes of Israel. What happened to them? Where did they go? To this day, their fate remains one of history's most debated questions. Archaeology confirms many parts of this story. Assyrian records describe campaigns in the region and the capture of cities. Inscriptions from kings like Sargon II detail the conquest of Samaria and the deportation of its people. Reliefs carved into palace walls show scenes of war, siege, and prisoners being led away. These are not just stories. They are historical records left behind by the empire itself. The fall of Israel was not just a military defeat. It was the end of a kingdom. A culture was scattered. A people were removed from their land. And a chapter of history came to a sudden and dramatic close. But the impact of this event did not end in ancient times. Even today, historians, archaeologists, and researchers continue to search for traces of the people who were taken by the Assyrian Empire. Some theories suggest that the lost tribes assimilated into other cultures across the empire. Others believe small groups may have preserved fragments of their identity in distant regions. Across parts of Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, certain communities have claimed ancestral connections to the lost tribes of Israel. While many of these claims remain debated, they show how deeply this ancient event continues to shape identity and belief even today. Modern archaeology is also shedding new light on the Assyrian Empire itself. Excavations in ancient cities like Nineveh have uncovered massive palaces, detailed carvings, and written records describing military campaigns. These discoveries reveal just how advanced and organized the Assyrian Empire truly was. They also confirm the scale of its power. But perhaps the most striking lesson from this story is this: even the most powerful empires do not last forever. The same Assyrian Empire that conquered Israel would eventually fall. Internal struggles, external attacks, and shifting power dynamics led to its collapse. The empire that once dominated the ancient world became another chapter in history, and yet, the consequences of its actions continued long after it disappeared. The fall of Israel remains one of the most significant turning points in biblical and ancient history. It reshaped the region, it changed the identity of a people, and it created a mystery that still has no complete answer. Looking ahead, new technologies may bring us closer to understanding what truly happened. Advanced DNA research, archaeological discoveries, and historical analysis could one day reveal more about the fate of the lost tribes. Perhaps future discoveries will uncover settlements, records, or connections that have remained hidden for thousands of years. Because history has shown us something again and again. What is lost is not always gone forever. Sometimes it is simply waiting to be found. If you are fascinated by ancient empires, biblical history, and hidden mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe to Ancient Bible History, because in the next videos, we'll uncover more powerful stories of civilizations, conquests, and discoveries that continue to shape our world today.